Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Immigrant Blueprint. I am attorney Ebony Umuforo, and I am an immigration attorney located in Jersey City. However, I represent clients in all 50 states regarding U.S. immigration. And today I want to talk about one of the most important topics for immigrants who are seeking safety, who are seeking a fresh start, based off of their experience being abused by a spouse or a parent or a child, and how they can get their VAWA case approved in 2025. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about today. So if you filed or if you are planning to file a VAWA self-petition, then today's discussion will help you understand what USCIS is really looking for, what mistakes to avoid, and how to strengthen your case from the very beginning. So let's get started. Number one, you want to tell your story with clarity and honesty. Your personal statement or your affidavit is the heart of your VAWA petition. This is where you tell your story in your own words, how the relationship started, what changed, and what kinds of abuse or cruelty that you experienced. You want to be detailed, but you want to stay focused, right? Describe specific incidents, how they made you feel, and the impact on your life. You don't need to exaggerate or dramatize anything. USCIS values credibility over perfection. So a lot of times clients will say, I don't know how to write, or I'm worried about my grammar. I always tell them, don't worry about the grammar, okay? Remember, the goal isn't to make your story dramatic, right? It's to make it truthful, consistent, and human, right? So remember, someone is going to be reading your declaration. Number two, you want to make sure that you are including the right form. So in 2025, USCIS still evaluates your case based on the totality of the evidence. So this means that um, people assume that you need a police report or hospital records in order to win your case, but that's not the case, right? While police records and medical records are strong evidence to show that you've been abused, you've been abused, victimized, it is not required to apply, right? You can include as many different types of evidence as possible, right? Because they're going to review this evidence in the totality to make a determination on whether to approve your case. So this can include photos together, joint bills, lease agreement showing that you had a shared residence, because that is required for VAWA, text messages, emails, social media messages showing the control or the threats in the relationship if you have them, counseling or therapy notes from your therapist, right? Letters from friends, family, neighbors, pastors, people who witnessed the abuse or changes in your behavior as a result of your abuse. Every document type helps USCIS to see your story from multiple angles. Okay, they're looking at the totality of the evidence and they're looking for credible evidence, any credible evidence. Number three, you cannot forget to prove that you have good moral character. Many people overlook this requirement, but good moral character is a key legal requirement under VAWA. This means no serious criminal convictions. This also means positive community involvement, showing that you volunteered, work records if you've been working, church participation, if you have children that you're caring for, all of that will contribute to showing that you're a person of good moral character. If you've had any past mistakes in your life, you still want to be honest about them, but you also want to include an explanation. Giving context also helps give the person adjudicating your case some background information and understanding that whatever this past mistake was truly a mistake, and you have made changes in your life to rehabilitate yourself from that behavior and from that circumstances. Hiding something is going to be far worse than you just being transparent and showing that you've changed from that past behavior. Number four, you want to demonstrate the qualifying relationship that you had with your abuser. So to get approved, USCIS must believe that your relationship with your abuser was actually real, not just for the purpose of immigration, and that you actually lived together at some point. And I'm specifically talking about married couples. So even though you're applying as a self-petitioner, you still have to prove that you were in a bona fide marriage, right? So some of the things that we submit to prove that you cohabitated, you lived together, is the lease agreements, letters from your landlord if you don't have a copy of the lease agreement, joint mail showing that you have the same address, photos inside of the home, affidavits from neighbors or friends that can corroborate that you actually live with your spouse. And if you're divorced, you want to make sure that you file your vow petition on time. And on time means within 2 years of when the divorce became final, right? You can explain, that the separation happened because of the abuse and so forth. But you want to make sure that you apply within that time frame. Number five, you want to be consistent with dates and details. One of the biggest reasons VAWA petitions are delayed or denied is inconsistency. Small contradictions between your affidavit, your police report, or any other evidence that you submit can cause a delay or even a denial in your VAWA case. So before filing, you want to go through your entire packet. You want to make sure that the dates, the names, the events line up logically and they make sense. If you previously filed any other immigration applications like a marriage-based green card case, I-130, review them carefully so that the VAWA story aligns with what USCIS already has on file. Remember, consistency is going to build credibility when it comes to VAWA. Number six, seek professional support and documentation. Getting a clinical evaluation, right, or a psychological report can make a major difference in your case, especially for people who don't have any evidence of physical abuse, right? These evaluations are going to provide expert insight into how the abuse affected your mental and your emotional health, right? Something that USCIS officers take very seriously. So even if you don't have a therapist yet, consider working with one who understands domestic violence trauma and can document your symptoms in a professional report. Additionally, working with an experienced immigration attorney or someone who is accredited with working with these types of cases, preferably an immigration attorney, will help ensure that your evidence is properly organized and that your narrative will meet all of the legal requirements. VAWA is not one of those types of immigration cases that I would recommend doing your own. I think it's very important for you to seek legal representation, legal assistance when you're preparing this type of case. Number seven, stay patient, be organized, and be informed. VAWA can take a long time, right? As of now, we're seeing about 30 to 40 plus months for VAWA cases to be adjudicated. But that doesn't mean that you should just sit in silence, right? You want to get moving with your application. Don't wait because we don't know. Things can take a lot longer in the future with regards to VAWA. So if you do feel like you have a VAWA case, talk with someone right away and start preparing to file that case. Keep copies of everything that you file. If you move, make sure you update USCIS with your new address. Check your status online. You can actually see the case updates online with USCIS. And if you get RFE, make sure you respond promptly. Okay. If you do not respond on time to RFEs, you could have your case denied. And remember that receiving a prima facie determination notice is a positive sign. It means that USCIS, on the onset, they believe your case is strong enough to continue processing your case and that you may qualify for certain public benefits or even work authorization. So I always tell my clients that prima facie determination notices is kind of like a pre-approval. It doesn't mean that you're ultimately going to get approved, but it does mean that you are moving in the right direction. Patience, organization, it's very, very important. It shows that shows USCIS that you are serious. It shows them that you're credible. And it really helps to give your case more credibility. And I think it's a positive towards you potentially getting an approval when you have a very organized and well put together application. Okay. So VAWA keep in mind, it's not just a legal petition, right? This is a lifeline for a lot of people. It's a way to rebuild your life on your own, rebuild your life on your own terms. It's a way for you to be get safety from your abuser and also dignity, right? So if you're thinking about filing for VAWA, or if your case is already pending and you need guidance, right? And you maybe you have questions about whether or not you did it the right way. Maybe you filed a marriage-based petition and now you are looking to convert that to VAWA. My office represents clients nationwide. We'll review your evidence. We can identify any weaknesses in your case, and we can help you build a strong and complete case, right? Help you navigate that, strategize. So you can reach out by either calling us, you can send us a message on WhatsApp to schedule a consultation. So if you liked this information, please make sure to to share with anyone you know that might need this information, and subscribe to the Immigrant Blueprint so that you can see more discussions and videos like this that will help you with VAWA or any other type of immigration benefit. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.